My dear child, listen to me for a moment. You think you are still trying to earn your place, still trying to push your way into a room that was never meant to be easy for you. But I want you to know something today. Long before you even asked for a seat, I had already made one for you. Your name is already written on it. You do not have to fight for what is already yours. You do not have to feel guilty for stepping into it either. I am calling you now to stand up and walk into what is yours, not with fear, not with shame, but with a quiet, strong trust. Because when I gave you that place, I already knew everything about who you would become. I was not guessing. I knew. There is something rising in you right now, something you have carried quietly for a long time, and very soon the world is going to notice it. I know your mind has been busy. I know you have been turning things over and over, trying to figure out how it will happen, when it will happen, what you need to do to make it work. You have asked me many times, when God, how is this going to happen? What do I need to do so it does not fall apart? But hear me clearly. What is coming for you is not something you can plan with a calculator. It is not going to come from a formula. It is going to come from grace, from favor, from something you cannot calculate, no matter how hard you try. That favor is tied to your name, not because of what you worked out in your head, but because of who I made you to be. You cannot study your way into this. You cannot plan your way into what I already have ready for you. I see you building little strategies in your mind, trying to guess what I am going to do, trying to do everything perfectly so that nothing goes wrong. But child, this is not something you need to fix. This is something you need to receive with open hands. What is coming will not follow the normal rules of logic. It will not wait for things to make sense first. It is going to be so unusual, so unexpected, that your mind will not be able to explain it, because it did not come from your mind. It came from me. That is what real favor looks like. It does not ask anyone's permission. It does not follow a pattern you can predict. It simply finds you, wraps itself around your name, and pulls your future closer to today. So breathe out, child. Let your shoulders drop. Your future is not resting on how well you understand it. It is resting on my decision, and I already decided a long time ago that I would bless you. Not because you found the right method, but because you kept trusting me, even when the numbers did not add up. You honored me even when there were no answers. You kept walking even when the road made no sense at all. That is exactly what opens the door to favor. That is what makes doors swing open without anyone handing you a key. That is what makes people remember your name, even though you never gave them a reason to. This was never about your plan. It has always been about my presence. And wherever my presence goes, favor flows like a river, and right now that river is flowing straight toward you. So let go of your spreadsheets. Put down your formulas and your backup plans. Real favor is the fragrance of faith, not proof of hard work. And child, your life carries that fragrance now. There is something on you that is about to make people notice you without you saying a single word. You never applied for the answers that are coming. You never expected the kind of help that is on its way. You have done everything you could do. Now it is time to sit back and watch me do what only I can do. I am not asking you to be flawless. I am asking you to simply be in the right place, and you already are. Just watch what happens next. Watch what I can do with a name that carries my mark on it. Watch how fast things can change the moment heaven decides it is time. This was never a formula to solve. This is favor, and it has your name written all over it. MYCHILD. Every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through PayPal, links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Now come close for a moment, not just with your body but with your heart. Let me calm the restlessness you have been carrying, that tight feeling in your chest that will not seem to loosen. You have grown tired of trying to push open doors that feel completely sealed. You have knocked, you have waited, you have prayed, and still nothing seemed to move. It felt like silence itself was guarding every opportunity you tried to reach. Rejection became something you got used to. Delay became your normal rhythm, and somewhere deep inside, a quiet question kept repeating itself. Did you forget about me? But hear me now, with both the strength of truth and the softness of love. I never forgot you. I was busy preparing rooms, and your name was already written on the door of every single one of them. Not random chances thrown your way, not someone else's leftover opportunity, but spaces built specifically with you in mind, spaces designed only for you to walk into. These rooms were not built by human hands. They were built quietly, in places you cannot see, inside my own plan for you. I have already gone ahead of you, not just to watch from a distance, but to arrange everything in advance. I have sent help ahead of you, not only to protect you, but to open gates of favor on your behalf. And the doors that are being unlocked for you will not ask for your resume or your qualifications. They will only ask if you are willing to walk through in obedience. What I am about to do for you has nothing to do with who you know. It has everything to do with the name I gave you. You spent years trying to prove yourself worthy of rooms that were honestly too small to hold everything I placed inside you. And I allowed some of those doors to close, not because you were not good enough, but because those rooms could never have contained what I put in you. You tried to shrink yourself down to fit spaces that were never built for someone like you. Now I am building room, real room. Room for your gifts to grow without you having to hide any part of them. Room for your voice to be heard without being silenced. Room for your heart to heal, even while you keep leading others. Room for everything I placed inside you to finally breathe. I am not sending you somewhere you will simply be allowed to exist. I am sending you somewhere you have already been chosen. And this next part is important. If this message is speaking straight to your heart right now, take a second and hit that subscribe button, because there is more coming that you do not want to miss. This journey we are on together is just getting started. So let go of striving. Let go of trying so hard to be noticed. You do not need to bang on doors that only open through exhaustion and burnout. The doors I am opening do not need your tired hands. They respond to my authority, and that authority is already moving on your behalf right now. Help is already walking into rooms carrying your name. Timelines are shifting. Hearts are being softened. Even the hearts of people who once told you no without a second thought. They are being prepared to welcome you with a yes they will not even be able to explain. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is something much bigger working behind the scenes for you. And that means you do not have to beg your way in. You simply belong there, not because you fought your way through the crowd, but because you were called to be there long before the invitation ever came. Your name was never written lightly. It was carved in permanent ink, and right now it is being read out loud in places you have never even imagined. So be still. Be ready. Be brave. The doors are opening, and this time you will not even need to knock, because I already walked through ahead of you. Come into this moment now with your hands open and your heart ready to receive, because what I am about to share with you is more than comfort. It is confirmation. You have felt something stirring inside you, haven't you? A quiet pressure, almost like expectation building up from somewhere deep within. That feeling is real, because you are getting close to something that was set aside just for you. This is not something you have to share with a crowd. This is not a leftover blessing that someone else passed on. This has been reserved, untouched, waiting patiently for the right moment. And your name is written on it. You may believe you missed your chance, that too many wrong turns and wasted years, and almost have already passed you by. But I am telling you now, what was set aside for you never moved. It waited, because I do not release something sacred until the person receiving it is ready to carry it well. And child, you are ready now. You have been tested. You have been through fire and silence, and still you are standing. What was being held back is now being handed over, not in small pieces, but completely. The vault is opening. What felt delayed is finally arriving. And this is not only about money, though provision is coming. It is not only about opportunity, though doors are opening. It is not only about being heard, though your voice is about to carry further than before. What is coming touches every part of your life, your spirit, your emotions, your relationships, even generations after you. It includes a peace that does not need explaining, joy that comes back stronger than before, healing in places you thought were beyond repair, favor that changes your story in front of people who never even met you, and something that will outlast your own lifetime. This is not a reward you have to earn. This is something that already belongs to you by right. You are not walking into it as a guest. You are walking in as someone who was always meant to inherit it. So stand tall in your spirit. Let go of any feeling that you are not worthy, because I was not preparing this for a better, more polished version of you someday. I was preparing it for you, exactly as you are right now, bruises and all, still holding on to hope even when it was hard. My dear one, there have been loud, harsh voices telling you that you are not enough. There have been nights when you quietly told yourself, maybe you do not matter. When the world rejected what you had to offer. When people misunderstood your story, you started to wonder if their rejection was the truth about you. You started seeing your own worth reflected through broken mirrors instead of through my eyes. You let doubt shape how you saw yourself. When criticism poured down on you, you shrank, you hid. You carried the weight of feeling not good enough, like it was too heavy a burden for you to bear. But listen, while they were busy questioning your worth, I was busy writing it down permanently. I was recording your value in words that will never fade. While they focused on your flaws, I was focused on the heart underneath. When they saw failure, I saw faith trying its best. When they saw something broken, I saw something beautiful being formed, even while your hands were shaking. Beloved child, we are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. Dear own, do you remember those nights when you cried yourself to sleep? The mornings when the sun came up but hope still felt buried? You thought that quiet meant I had left you. You thought silence meant there was no promise left. But in those very hours, I was underlining your purpose. I was making it stronger. I was lighting a small flame inside your spirit, even while everything around you felt dark. Because here is the truth. Your purpose was never an accident. It was never a backup plan. It was something I spoke into you on purpose. I made you for something only you can do. I planted seeds inside your heart. Seeds you could barely water. Seeds you could barely even see. But they were there the whole time, quietly growing stronger underneath every tear and every heartbreak. I want you to really hear this. Your worth is not something you perform for. Your worth is something I already promised you. Your purpose is not measured by how many people clap for you or follow you. It is anointed. It is wrapped up in my plan for your life. When you felt invisible, I was watching closely. When you felt unqualified, I was quietly shaping you. When you felt small, I was preparing you to stand on mountains. I did not wait until you climbed high before I called you purposeful. I called you purposeful while you were still stacking small stones of faith one on top of another. Even when your own vision got blurry, I kept holding the plan steady. Even when your steps wobbled, I kept the path lit with my light. I wrote your calling in colors that will never fade, and I recorded your worth far beyond any shame or accusation thrown your way. So now, let every question the world has asked about you fall silent. Let every accusation lose its grip. Your name means more than any rumor about you. Who you really are goes deeper than what anyone has said about you. Your purpose speaks louder than every voice that ever tried to drown you out. When they questioned your worth, I had already written it down. When you questioned your purpose, I had already underlined it. And what I write down does not get erased. What I underline does not get ignored. What I intend does not get postponed forever. You have been looked at the wrong way so many times. People saw your wilderness season and assumed you were abandoned. They saw you waiting and called it wasted time. They saw your failures and felt disappointed in you. They saw the broken pieces of your heart, your shattered dreams, your cracked trust. And to them, broken meant thrown away. Delay meant disqualified. Broken pieces meant worthless. But I saw something completely different. I saw deep work happening. I saw myself refining you through fire, through silence, through nights when your soul could barely whisper a prayer. I saw growth hiding underneath the bruises. I saw healing tucked quietly behind every tear. I saw something coming back to life underneath every collapse. While they judged you by what they could see on the surface, I was judging by what I was building underneath. I was paying attention to every time you held on, even when your grip felt like it was slipping. You believed that broken pieces meant you would never be whole again. You believed the delay meant your season was gone forever. You believed shattered dreams could never be rebuilt. But I do not build with perfect pieces. I build with faithfulness. I build quietly, where nobody is watching. And what gets built through brokenness becomes a strength nobody can copy, a character nobody can fake. It is quiet work, but it is powerful work. Anything worth building takes time, and broken pieces, once they are surrendered, become part of something beautiful, unique, and sacred. Every crack becomes a place where light gets through. Every shattered piece becomes something that reflects light in a new way. Every season of delay becomes the space where new strength and new authority is formed. Look at your own hands for a second. You can see the marks from moments you fell, moments you felt like everything fell apart. Those are not signs of shame. They are proof of careful craftsmanship. They tell a story of endurance, of purpose, of staying faithful. When the world looked away, when people saw delay, I saw deep work happening. When they saw broken pieces, I saw something being carefully built, prepared, and lifted up. I have been preparing you for a new season, for fire that refines rather than destroys, for something greater than you imagined. This quiet preparation has been happening the whole time, even when you could not see it. So let the broken pieces speak for themselves. Let your scars tell the truth. Let the years of delay become the rhythm that carries you into your purpose. This was never really delay. This was development. This was deep work. What was broken is being made beautiful. What was delayed is finally being released. What felt shattered is now something light shines straight through. And what I am building through your life is about to be shown, not in pieces, not half-finished, but whole and complete. Your name will not be whispered in shame anymore. It will be spoken with strength, because when I build something, I build it to last forever, and you are part of that lasting work. My child, I know there were moments you mistook my quietness for me being far away. I know how heavy those seasons felt when the answers just would not come. When the nights blended into days, and the sky felt like it had nothing to say. You cried into your pillow, feeling like your prayers were just bouncing back at you unanswered. You looked at the sky for some kind of sign, and found nothing. And in that silence, dangerous questions started forming in your mind. Is anyone even listening? Did I miss my chance? Did I mess up too badly to be answered? Today I want to bring you clarity that will shake loose all that tiredness. I was never quiet because I left. I was quiet because I was writing. Silence is not me pulling away from you. It is often the place where I do my most careful work. It is in the quiet moments that I write the most important parts of your story. You wanted me to speak loudly, but I was working with careful detail, adding depth to your calling, adding weight behind your future. You thought nothing was happening, but behind the scenes, plans were unfolding, strategies were lining up, and help was already being arranged with your name at the very top of the list. When you saw delay, I saw growth. When you saw nothing moving, I was quietly moving everything just outside of what you could see. Some things are too important to be rushed out in the open. Some things need to be written in the quiet first, sealed away, and then released suddenly when the time is exactly right. Even the world gets this wrong sometimes. People assume silence means emptiness. They assume distance means abandonment. But I am telling you, silence is often where the most careful planning happens. When I seem the most still, I am often the most active behind the scenes. Think back to the seasons where you heard nothing at all. Now look at who you became because of them. You came out with more wisdom, more patience, more strength than you had before. Those were not wasted days. They were sacred days, days where something important was being written into your story, days where I was preparing chapters of your life that had never existed before. You thought I was distant, but I was closer than your own breath, quietly writing your journey with purpose behind every line. So here is my promise to you. What was written quietly is about to be shown out loud. The story that was being put together while you waited is about to speak for itself. You will not just hear about it, you will actually see it happening. Doors are opening with your name written into every part of it. Conversations are coming that were arranged before you even knew about them. Everything is lining up with perfect timing. And when it all comes together, you will look back and finally understand what the silence was really for. Because, child, I was never absent. I was writing. And now your story is turning to a brand new page. You have already walked through the fire. You have heard something in the quiet. And now you carry not just a word, but a mission. Your name was written, and so were the names of people around you. People who will be touched simply because you kept walking in obedience. You felt the weight of darkness pressing down on you like soil closing in around you. You lost sight of things. You lost the sound of encouragement. You felt grief, rejection, disappointment. And it all convinced you that something inside you had died, that your future had been buried, that your potential had been thrown away. But I want to interrupt that story right now with something much more true, something powerful enough to break through every lie like dry ground finally cracking open. MYKCHLD, this ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through PayPal, links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. MYKCHLD, you were not buried. You were planted. Planted with purpose, planted on purpose, planted with a plan already in place. What looked like defeat was actually me developing something in you. I let you be covered, not to destroy you, but to prepare you. I allowed the hidden seasons, not to punish you, but to protect you, because some kinds of growth can only happen underground, in the dark, under pressure in the quiet. That was never a grave, child. That was a cocoon, a place where the old version of you makes room for something new to form. Even though nobody celebrated you during those seasons, even though people walked away, even though your own thoughts sometimes whispered discouragement, I stayed close. I watched. I waited with you. And now the ground is finally breaking open. The roots you never even knew were forming have anchored you deeply. You could not see them, but they were quietly building strength, wisdom, and depth, things that shallow soil could never have given you. And now I say this with full confidence. It is time to rise. Not quietly, not apologetically, not with guilt hanging over you, but with real strength. Rise into being seen. Rise into making a difference. Rise into everything I have written over your life. People may have walked away when you were hidden, but they will see clearly what happens when I call something into full bloom. You are not coming out weak. You are coming out strong. You are not rising fragile. You are rising fully formed. And the growth people are about to witness in your life will remind them that I do my very best work quietly, in the soil, in the secret places. The harvest coming from your life will surprise the people who counted you out, not as payback, but as proof. They will finally understand that you were never buried, you were planted. And what I plant, I water. What I water, I grow. And what I grow, I guide carefully every step of the way. The ground beneath you is shifting right now. What used to hold you down cannot hold you anymore. The shell has cracked open. The seed has woken up. The light has come. And now, it is your turn to rise too. Come closer, because this next part matters. You have spent so much time wondering if I still remember you. Days turned into years. Promises started to feel more like unanswered questions. Dreams became almost too painful to think about. You watched other people get chosen, celebrated, and lifted up, and even while you were happy for them, deep down you quietly asked, "What about me? Did you forget my name?" I never forgot you. I never even lost track of you for a second. And now, I am not only remembering your name, I am speaking it out loud, announcing it in places that have resisted you for a long time, speaking it in front of the right people, sending word ahead of you before you even arrive. There is a sound going out right now, and that sound is your name, wrapped in my authority. When I speak, things move. I do not ask permission. When I speak, everything responds. And I am speaking your name right now, not quietly, but with full confidence, like a decision that has already been made. The waiting is over. Things are being set in motion. Where you used to feel ignored, you are about to feel acknowledged, not for the sake of attention, but because it is time for your assignment to be seen. You spent years feeling invisible, not because you did not matter, but because your moment needed time to be ready. I was protecting you from coming out too soon. I was guarding what I placed on your life. But now that season of quiet is shifting. The signal has gone out, and your name is reaching exactly the right ears. People you have never met are starting to feel drawn toward what you carry. Opportunities you never chased are starting to make space for you. Conversations are already happening in rooms you never walked into, because I am the one putting your name into motion. So let your heart rest. You do not need to force your way in or manufacture connections. What is coming for you is not political. It came straight from a plan set in motion, long before you were born, not from any human system. When I put something into motion, nobody can stop it, not jealousy, not your history, not any limitation you have felt. This is the sound of recognition, finally catching up with what was already true about you. And it starts right now. The same voice that spoke your name quietly, before you were even born, is now speaking it loudly. You are not just ready to be noticed. You are ready to be sent out. My child, oh my child, I felt that moment when you sat alone, completely worn out, your hope slowly draining away. You did not tell anyone, but quietly, you gave up on the inside. You folded up the dream. You went quiet about the promise. You told yourself maybe it was never real. Maybe you imagined it. Maybe it just is not meant for you anymore. You tried to protect your heart from more disappointment by walking away from the very thing you once held onto so tightly. You stopped praying the way you used to. You stopped expecting the way you once did. You changed how you thought about yourself. But listen to me carefully. I have not changed how I think about you. You may have seen it as failure. I saw it as formation. You may have called it delay. I called it development. You thought you missed your chance. I saw you being made ready for it. I am not shaken by your questions. I am not upset by your exhaustion. I already knew exactly where your faith would struggle, and I chose you anyway. I knew what would break your heart, and I still blessed you. I knew what would make you doubt, and I still had a plan for you. You are not disqualified just because you got tired. You are not thrown out because you doubted for a while. Who you are was never based on being perfect. It was always based on what I promised. Do you think your doubt was too heavy for me to handle? Do you think your tiredness could cancel out my plans? My decisions were never made based on your weak moments. They were made out of a love that does not change. That love is steady even through your worst storms. When you walked away from the dream, I walked closer to you. When you closed the book on it, I kept your place marked, waiting for you to come back and start again from exactly where you left off. I do not throw stories away. I restore them. I do not erase what I once called someone into. I wake it back up, and yours is waking up right now. It is time to come out of the shadows of doubting yourself. My mercy does not just forgive you. It puts you right back into your assignment. You are not defined by your last mistake. You are defined by what I have said about you. So hear this with full confidence. I have not changed my mind. What I called you to still stands. My promises are still true. My hand is still reaching toward you, not to punish you, but to pull you forward. Let go of whatever story you told yourself just to survive the hard days. Pick back up what I originally told you to carry. It still fits you. The mission is still alive in you, and the name I gave you before the world even began still echoes. My child, if these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's word with countless souls around the world. MYKILD, you know what it feels like to be forgotten, passed over, treated like you did not really matter. There were moments people acted like you were replaceable, like your absence would not even be noticed. You sat in rooms where nobody heard your voice. You were part of groups where your heart was not really valued. You watched others get promoted, celebrated, and called forward while your name sat quietly in the background. I felt every bit of that sting with you. I saw every tear you never let anyone else see. But now I need to speak into what they tried to erase, because what they tried to erase, I kept writing down. Even when they forgot your name, I never did. Even when they dismissed you, I was carving your name deeper into my plans. Their forgetting has no power over what I have written. Their silence cannot cancel what I have already decided. They cannot vote you out of what I called you into. Every time someone pushed you toward the background, I moved you deeper into my plan. Every no you received turned into a yes somewhere in my design. Every closed door became a redirect toward something better, something purer. And that space is opening for you right now. You were never being erased. You were being refined. You were never being left out. You were being lifted up quietly, behind the scenes. I do not promote people the way the world does. I do not affirm people the way the world does. I strengthen people through fire. I lift people up through testing. And when everyone else stopped saying your name, I was already preparing places for you that you had not even prayed for yet. I was shifting timelines, opening pathways, placing your name in the hearts of people who have the authority to open the right doors for you. Not out of pity, but because you were my first choice. Not a backup plan, not second best. So hear this clearly. The season of being overlooked is ending. The days of feeling invisible are coming to a close. They do not need to remember your name for it to matter, because I never forgot it. And now I am honoring what I wrote about you. You will be recognized, not because you demanded attention, but because your assignment finally caught up with you. You will be seen, not because you forced it, but because I already arranged it. I wrote your name with my own hand, and it is calling you forward right now. Beloved, you have walked through battles that other people never even noticed. Quiet struggles, emotional exhaustion, mental battles so intense they almost broke you completely. The attacks on your life were never really about your circumstances. They were aimed at your identity, your name, your purpose, your reason for being here. The struggles were never really about your house or your job. They came after the truth of who you are, because when you truly understand who you are, nothing can stop you. But hear this clearly. Your name is not weak or fragile. It has been made strong through everything you have survived. Do you really think your name, which was written into a bigger plan, could just be erased by opposition? I have built a strength around you that is hard to explain in words. You felt weak, but you have actually been tested by real battles. You wanted to give up, but you are still standing. That is not luck. That is proof of your strength being built over time. When trouble came in like a flood, something was raised up to hold you steady. When difficulties came flying at you, something protected your heart. And every wound you carry is quietly turning into strength. Every scar is becoming part of your story instead of your shame. You were never made to break apart. You were made to shine. You were never designed to fall apart completely. You were designed to overcome. And what has been written over your life cannot be canceled by hard seasons. In fact, the hard seasons have become part of your story. They have shaped your voice, sharpened your understanding, and made you someone difficult for negativity to shake. That is exactly why hard things keep showing up, because even difficulty recognizes your name, and it backs off every time you keep rising, every time you keep praying, every time you keep speaking truth no matter what. So rise in strength now, not out of stubbornness, but out of quiet confidence, knowing that your name is not hanging by a thin thread. It is held by something much bigger than you, secured by promise, rooted in something eternal, and that name of yours has been made strong through every trial you survived, strengthened through every hard yes you gave even when it hurt, strengthened through every hidden battle you kept fighting instead of giving up. The hard seasons did not defeat you. They revealed how strong you actually are. My precious one, I need you to hear this with your whole heart, not just your ears. You have carried a quiet fear that what was promised to you could somehow be undone, that maybe it is too late, that maybe someone else's opinion or your own past mistakes have somehow rewritten what was originally said about you. But hear this. What has been written over your life is not something other people get to edit. It is settled. It is final. It is completely secure. People will always have opinions. People will always try to give you labels. Some will even try to rewrite pieces of your story, twisting the truth, misunderstanding your intentions, painting a picture of you that is not accurate. But while they scribble little notes in the margins, what has been written about your life is permanent and does not fade. What was said over you was never uncertain. It was a decision, and decisions like that do not need to be debated. What was meant for you will happen. You need to know this clearly. Nobody can shrink what was designed to grow. They may try to reduce your name to a rumor, your influence to a passing moment, your purpose to a footnote nobody remembers. But shrinking someone only works if they agree to believe it. And you are being called to stop agreeing with every voice that tries to make you smaller. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to be an echo of someone else's story. You were never given purpose just so it could be shrunk down, because it made other people uncomfortable. You are exactly the right size for what you were made for. And nobody, not even you on your hardest day, can undo what has already been decided. Every failure you might have ahead was already factored in before your name was even written down. What has been written over you is not something temporary. It is permanent, unshakable, lasting far beyond this lifetime. And I say now with full confidence, no hard season, no delay, no doubt can undo what has already been decided about you. You may have walked away from your dream for a while, but the dream never walked away from you. It has been waiting patiently, with everything it needs to move forward the moment you turn back toward it. My child, every video is created with prayer, time, and dedication to reach those who may be searching for encouragement and faith. By supporting this ministry through PayPal, you help keep this mission growing and touching more lives each day. God bless you abundantly. Beloved, how long have you felt like a supporting character in your own life? Like your only job was to encourage others, cheer others on, and quietly watch other people get chosen while you faded into the background. You have been the one who prays for everyone else, who serves faithfully, who never asks for attention. You told yourself it was fine if nobody noticed you. And yes, your humility has always been genuine. But I need you to hear this now. I never wrote you in as a small side character. I wrote you in as the turning point of the story. Yes, the turning point. You are not just filling space in this bigger picture. You are the reason things shift. There is power in your words, strength in your prayers, light behind your eyes. You do not just watch things happen. You change how they happen. You do not just support the plan. You carry it forward. I made you to break down walls, to open doors, to break unhealthy patterns. You are not a background detail in this story. You are essential to it. Nothing moves forward the same way without your yes. Your name was never written in small print. It was written in bold, right across the most important chapters. You have made yourself small because it felt safer that way. Because every time you tried to step forward before, people pushed back, people laughed, people tried to clip your wings before you even had a chance to fly. So you pulled back. You told yourself, maybe your job is just to stay behind the scenes. But I did not give you gifts so they could stay hidden. I gave them to you for a harvest, for high places. You are not rising because of pride. You are rising because it is finally lining up the way it was always supposed to. And when you rise, other people rise with you, because your breakthrough was never just for you. It is for your family, for the people connected to you, for everyone whose story is tied to yours. This is the season where you stop being whispered about and start being spoken of clearly, where your impact stops hiding and starts showing, where what was delayed finally gets delivered. You matter to what is happening, not out of pride, but because it was always meant to be this way. I chose you to be a signal, a light, a voice that breaks through silence. The next part of the story cannot move forward until you say yes. And I am standing right here with you now, saying clearly, you were never in the background. You are the turning point, and the story does not move forward without you. Come even closer now, because I want to speak to the deepest part of you, the place where doubt used to live and hope was too afraid to speak. You were not written into this story by accident. You are not a small detail in someone else's journey. You are not a name that fades once the excitement dies down or the room empties out. Your name was carved into the plan long before time even began, with forever in mind. I did not write you in for just one moment. I wrote you in for a lasting movement, and what has already started through you cannot be stopped. When your name was written, it had nothing to do with earthly approval or passing trends. I was not reacting to what people thought of you. I was not adjusting the plan based on your circumstances. I was working from an eternal perspective. From the very beginning, I already knew every moment you would live through, every pain you would face, every difficult season you would walk through. And still, I wrote your name, not hesitantly, but with full intention. I did not write your name somewhere temporary. I carved it into something permanent. My hand never shook while writing it. My decision never wavered. I was not experimenting with you. I was establishing something solid. I was setting apart a life that would be both a light and a place of safety for others. You were placed in this world not just to get through the chaos, but to help shift it. You were created not just to breathe the same air as everyone else, but to carry something bigger with you, something that brings change wherever you go. There is a weight to your life that cannot be measured by success or attention. It is the weight of a purpose meant to last. I made you to reflect something greater than yourself, to carry something that interrupts negative cycles and opens up new levels of freedom for people around you. There are things inside you that have not even started moving yet, things that will impact generations. People will change because you said yes to the name that was written over you long before you understood it. You thought this whole journey was only about you, but it is much bigger than that. You carry not just your own calling, but something that ripples outward. Your obedience touches lives you have not even met yet. Your presence changes the atmosphere around you, not because of how charming you are, but because of how faithfully you have walked with me quietly. Even when nobody was watching, you chose faithfulness over recognition. And now, the name that was written before time began is finally being revealed in real time. You were never written to be forgotten. You were written to be fulfilled, and that fulfillment is getting closer. So rise now, not with uncertainty, but with the confidence of knowing this was always the plan. Rise knowing that every part of your story, even the hard parts, was carefully put together, that nothing was wasted, that not one single moment was random. The difficult years, the quiet seasons, the private tears, all of it became part of the fulfillment of the name given to you. And this name of yours is not limited by time. It is rooted in forever. This is not the end. There is still more unfolding, and what comes next will not just remind you of your worth. It will awaken something bigger in you, something that outlasts you, something that becomes your legacy. Your name was never written for just a moment. It was written for a lasting movement. Come closer still. Let the noise of your day fade away for just a moment. Set aside the deadlines, the worries about the people you love, the list of things you feel you did not do well enough today. I want to speak with you right where you are, exactly as you are. Breathe out slowly. Let this moment feel more real to you than anything else around you right now. I want to take you back, not to your own past, but to something much further back. Back before the first star was placed in the sky, before the sun even knew its place. Your name was already written on my heart. Can you imagine that? Before mountains were formed, before oceans were poured out, I already knew you, not as a maybe, but as a certainty. Your name was spoken into the quiet vastness before anything existed, and that quiet whisper carried the same power that created everything else. That whisper became a promise, and that promise was you. This writing of your name is not something fragile that can fade with time. It was not written with ink that can smudge or paper that can tear. It is written into who I am, written with grace and a love that had no beginning and has no end. I see how hard you have been working, my precious one. I see you at work, pushing yourself to the edge, hoping someone will finally notice and appreciate what you do. I see you at home, trying to hold everything together, carrying tension nobody else sees, feeling like you always have to be the strong one. You carry this heavy belief that you must earn your place, that you must prove you deserve to be here. But hear me now. Let this truth loosen that knot in your chest. Writing your name was never about what you earned. You did not earn it back then, and you do not have to earn it now. It was already settled, already covered, made permanent through the greatest sacrifice ever made. That love is the ink your story was written with. That sacrifice is the reason it will never fade. It was a gift freely given from a love that saw you completely and chose you anyway, with no conditions attached. Before the world was even built, your future was already part of the plan. Your life was never a random string of chaotic events. Every struggle, every unexpected turn, every confusing season, none of it caught anyone off guard. Your purpose was woven into everything with the same intention that placed every star exactly where it needed to be. This is the foundation you can build your whole life on. You were known before anyone else knew you, before your parents ever held you, before you even knew yourself. You were already seen, already named, already claimed. Pause for a second and let that truth settle. The world did not get to define you first. Your failures did not get to define you first. Your weaknesses did not get to define you first. You were known before any of that. Everything else in between is simply the journey back to that original truth. Beloved, a single act of kindness can help God's message reach someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this channel, you can stand with us through the PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for helping us spread God's love one soul at a time. Pirisayusoan, your name is written not as a small footnote, but as the headline. Not as something forgotten along the way, but as someone deeply valued. This is where your real story begins. And as that truth settles into your heart, I already know the next quiet worry that shows up. It sounds like your own voice asking, but for how long? What if I mess everything up? What if I fail so badly that it all fades away? This is the fear that keeps you walking carefully, afraid to relax, worried that somehow you will disqualify yourself from being loved. It is the lie that keeps you working so hard when you were actually invited to rest. So listen closely. What was written about you is not held together by something fragile. It is sealed. And this is not the kind of seal that melts or breaks under pressure. It is sealed by something powerful, something alive, something unbreakable. That seal stands as proof, forever, that you belong. Every accusation that tries to remind you of your mistakes shatters the moment it touches that seal. It has no power to break through. Your own doubts, the ones that twist your stomach and whisper that you are not good enough, cannot wear it down either. It is complete. It is final. It is an unbreakable promise made directly to you, a guarantee of something lasting that will never fade, rust, or disappear. You worry so much about your future, about money, about whether you will have enough. You see uncertainty everywhere in the world, and it scares you, but your real security was never tied to this passing world. It is already safe, already protected, already waiting for you. And to prove how sure this all is, something has already been placed inside you as proof. You feel it in your quiet moments, that unexplainable peace that washes over you out of nowhere. You feel it when you find the strength to forgive someone who hurt you deeply. That is proof living inside you right now, a small taste of everything still coming. That same presence keeps you steady and secure, held firmly, protected completely. Picture your life resting in the palm of a hand, then picture another hand closing gently over it. That is your reality. You are held twice over. Nothing can pull you away. Your mistakes do not loosen that grip. Your wandering does not make that hand let go. You are held firmly, so let go of the fear that you have to hold on with all your strength. The truth is you are the one being held. Rest in that. It is the safest place there is. My child, let us talk about the labels you carry. The world is quick to hand you labels, quick to put you in a box. At work, you might be labeled based on a performance review, exceeding expectations or needing improvement. Society may label you by your income, your address, the car you drive. People from your past may have labeled you by mistakes that still sting when you think about them alone at night. Even you have labeled yourself, calling yourself anxious, not disciplined enough, a disappointment, a failure. You wear these labels like heavy coats, and you wonder why you feel so tired all the time. I am here today to remove every single one of those labels, because while the world hands out labels of success or failure, there is only one label that matters, and it overrides every single other one. You are chosen. You are deeply loved. You belong to something far bigger than any label placed on you by others or by yourself. Your worth was never something you had to build. It is something you simply receive. You have been measuring your value by how much you accomplish, how productive you are, how well people like you. But real worth was never meant to work that way. It was never about performance. It was always about being known, being chosen, being loved completely, without needing to prove anything at all. So today, my child, take a breath and let all of that heaviness fall away. Let go of the labels the world gave you. Let go of the labels you gave yourself out of fear or exhaustion. You are not what your mistakes said about you. You are not what your slow seasons said about you. You are not what other people's opinions said about you. You are who you were always meant to be, known before the world began, chosen without needing to earn it, and loved completely, exactly as you are right now. Every hard season you walked through was never wasted. Every quiet year was doing something underneath the surface that you could not see yet. Every closed door was making room for something better suited to who you really are. You were never forgotten, never overlooked by the one who truly matters. Never too far gone to be brought back into the plan that was always meant for you. So walk forward today with your head lifted, not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand the truth. You were planted, not buried. You were being developed, not abandoned. You were being written into something lasting, not left out of the story. Whatever labels the world tried to place on you, let them fall away now. Whatever doubts tried to convince you that you were too late or too broken or too tired to matter, let them go quietly. You are exactly where you need to be, right on time, held securely, known completely, and loved without any conditions attached. The waiting is not wasted. The silence was not empty. The broken pieces are becoming something whole, and the name written over your life, your name, is not going anywhere. It stands firm, it stands true, and it stands forever. Rest in that today, my child, because you were always meant to arrive exactly here.